Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Kristen and I have been chatting away about what to do with my hair.
Yes. What to do without doing too much at the same time, right?
Because I'm kind of wanting to give you guys a different styling option, keeping a little more length for those of you who want a slightly longer style.
Yes.
Next time is my color appointment, so I always like to help her out and give her a little extra hair to highlight.
Yes, for sure. It's always a good thing for me.
So we've been talking through the cut, and we're gonna just start going, and Kristen's gonna explain along the way.
So we're actually going to do a little dry cutting because we're maintaining length. For me, her ends aren't horrible. If anything, she's just super thick. And so with her being so consistent on her 4-week haircuts, and again, we're just going to try to keep what she has. But what I want to do is kind of show and talk a little bit about how to texturize a little bit, like taking this shape, not trimming her up, but hardly like tipping her ends, and go ahead and give some of those like internal layers and taking out and keeping it like still keeping a little bit of an edge to where she's a great styler, but she can piece out pieces, because right now it is getting a little full and a little bubbly. So
yeah,
it's not the goal.
We're getting this like kind of look here that is
Bouffanty?
Yeah, like a mushroom. That's not really what I want. So Kristen's gonna help us figure out how to tweak this and tweak length on your cut, but give it a little bit of an edge.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, guard number 3.
Yeah, number 3. We're doing number 3 today.
Number 3.
But when you said that, I thought,
you're like,
I better double check this. Right through here on her side. Most people get a little fuller through, and what happens is right here, especially if you're thicker hair, it kind of gives a little motivation to the other hair to get a little more bubbly. So today we are going to take her. I'm going to just take it real clean. I'm not going to round it out. We're going to keep it disconnected. So just so people kind of know. And then in addition, on the back here, I'm kind of freely clippering it, but we're going to go a little bit more of a, like not a huge V, but just not like straight and round everywhere. Because I do think that helps with keeping it a little edgy. Yeah. So, more of a modern take on this type of style.
Right. Yeah. Love it. I'm in good hands.
Yeah. We try.
Yeah.
On this fine woman, we are going to do a little bit of like I have been kind of enjoying doing this like V neckline for people. Sneaking it. So it's kind of nice because especially if people get like, obviously everybody has their own natural hairline and their own natural growth there. I've been kind of enjoying like kind of cutting it off. And that's only because she comes in so regularly. So we go to more of like a little bit of like a V. So I use my comb just as a bit of a guideline, and then I do keep kind of her center length there. And then you can see kind of that difference here, like what it looks like. This is before, and then obviously the other side after. So I really like the cleanup on this side. So,
and I do like the pointed sideburns.
Yeah, so we kind of keep these.
And then trimmed up over the ear. That,
clean, right?
Yeah, clean, and even up a little higher. That does good with gray.
you can even see, like, I've not touched any of this, but you can kind of see, even just by like cleaning up those sides, it does give it that little, it's just a different little look. So if somebody's considering kind of going short or not, you know, that kind of can give you that edginess that maybe you're feeling you're not getting. So keep
And
that in
I
mind.
think that's why the undercut, I was personally so scared to do an undercut, but it's actually not so scary.
No, and it helps to grow out. I have done it more and more on people who, honestly, Shirley's kind of helped me in that department. But it also give me confidence to do it on people. Because if they're already short, like they're not, yes, it's a little bit of a change, but not, you know, not forever change. We are going to trim her just a little bit here. So I am going to use my scissor. I'm actually going to do a little dry cutting today because we're not shifting so much on her overall like shape. I kind of like to do a little bit of dry cutting when it comes to this because I can kind of preserve and I can constantly feel the hair. Shirley's having a little problem as far as getting like the definition. So this is where, by maintaining the length, this is where those internal layers come in. So whether you use, being that she's dry, I'm not going to use a razor because we'd be pulling her hair a little bit. So initially, I'm actually going to start off by just taking her length because it's not a whole bunch. I'm actually just going to take my scissors and I'm going to actually cut into it. I know that looks super scary. You can see me because that in itself will take away some of that right there. So you can see, again, you want to cut very straight into the hair. Otherwise, you'll do things you don't want to do. But you got to take that.
Step back.
Yeah, no. So even like that, you can kind of see she can kind of take it.
Yeah, I like that.
Already piece out those pieces.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So
I still have some length there, but
yeah.
yeah.
And honestly, I'm going to I will do a little more with her perimeter probably after we get her wet. But right now, because I just wanted those sides, especially when they have an area of like real concern, like that's when I kind of do what I just did. And even this side kind of can handle that a little bit. The more the angle you're going to cut, the more you're going to see. So into it is better. Otherwise, you will get, again, you do cuts that you don't want to see.
Triangular shapes there.
Yes. Let's see, like even that already, you can kind of see like she's able to piece that out a little bit better. I have these scissors in which I think I've shown you before. They're really chunky. I know these are scary. I felt the same way. So I take areas of her hair and I just go through. And because we are maintaining the length, this really helps take away that bulk. So you can kind of see I take it about halfway, like her length here, and that's where I kind of take and cut. I already cut there. I don't want to do it again. So it's strategic. You can take out. They take out a lot very quickly. So you do that, play with it, but that helps take out without like layering the hair, because like already that like feels better. And even things to be consider if you have some of these scissors and are wondering, okay, well, where don't I use these? You know, be aware of things like your part areas, because those part areas, if you cut too short in that one part area, they're going to be stuck with a little short layer there. So things are to consider when using these.
A little extra.
Maybe we're going to give you a little don't do things, like this.
Hey, that's helpful. I think sometimes it's easier to know what not to do, right?
100%. And I always ask people too, if they're not, if a client is not really the best at telling you about what they do want, I oftentimes in a consultation for the hairdressers, ask them what they don't want. Because you know what? First of all, it's gonna protect you. They don't want bangs, great. You know they don't want bangs. But like look at all of that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How it just, and I have not tipped any of her ends yet, so yeah. Some may ask, well, what are you gonna do there? I'm honestly just gonna I'll probably point cut the top of it, and just I always like the point cut rather than the straight, and I just go through and I'll trim all those ends up. And other alternatives to this type of cutting, if someone is not a fan of these scissors, I understand. That would be grab your normal scissors, and again, I'm always kind of just feeling like where she feels thick, and she does have a little product in there, so. can see, like, as far as getting that, like, getting rid of that bubbly shape, as I start taking this weight out, you can see how you just start to see the definition more.
Yeah.
So. She has a thick area. A lot of times people get this. It's just where the hairline like kind of goes back, and then I think the natural goes here. So I find, and I too have this on my own hair, I find that this area, I always drop the hairline, and this is where I kind of take and do a little extra internal cutting to cause that to be a little better. And then I slowly take back a little bit to marry it together. And that really helps it. Now I might, for her fringe, use a slight little bit of, I love this little corner. She's not super thick through there, so I'm going to do a little dry cutting with the razor, just to give a little that light to this feel.
Gentle razoring.
Yeah, literally spare a few hairs there, and then she can piece that in there. I can really see when this starts getting that wave, you don't want to do any more there.
Right? I know. Yeah, that's my natural curl.
We all have this little friend right here, you know, this natural little wave. See hers?
See that?
Yes, we are having a little rain. So
Yeah, it's raining out today, so my hair is like, woo!
yeah.
I one curl right in the front.
So you can kind of see like where and how it's laying right now. And even though I have gone through here and texturized, this is long for Shirley, but we're trying to, you know, have a little growth and something to work with a little bit maybe next time. With that, this is usually like if you're kind of feeling like, gosh, I get a little rounded, but I just need a little volume through the area, like through where you want it to. What I typically do is take where that client wants it shorter and literally have them show me, like, I want a little lift here. I want, for me, some and other people that I find that they would like as well to see little pieciness all through here. So what I would do if Shirley was asking me that is I would take in that part line, because there is quite a difference on length through there. And that's where, it's hard to see. But that's where I would kind of like layer a little, particularly right through there, to just give that little definition throughout. So I do take pieces literally in a certain spot and then just kind of, you know, blend them throughout that little area to help. So we did Shirley a little backwards today.
Yeah. See, we're giving you different content, right?
Yeah,
Right cut. With
And some might go, why is she doing this? This is just the way I'm doing this. Like, so with that, now I am going to go ahead and trim her perimeter slightly. It's more, I'm more just like thinning her ends a little bit due to her wanting to get a little longer. In the back here, I did not totally, this is not disconnected. I did keep this blended because we wanted to keep that for like options for next time. So with that, this is where I kind of take, because we did go higher up here. So then I just kind of marry it together. And then I have, I use my little razor here, and I love to take the chunkier side just because it blends really soft, not like the chunky scissors. And she does get a little bulky through that perimeter. It's like a weight line. So like anybody, where the occipital bone goes up, if you don't kind of thin that out, then you might get a little step there. So it's not what we're going for. And then her side of, it feels like she gets a little pop out. I'm going to kind of take that as well. And then this is some root boost.
By Kenra.
By Kenra, yes.
Smells so
and then
good.
yeah, the root lifting spray. And then I'll put in my little,
There we go.
like, that's enough. Right there. Less is more in everything you do.
Yes.
Just consider you
have
can
less
always
hair.
add more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we have what she raves about. I really do like this stuff.
Magic. Yeah.
It's tricky, but less is more again. Like start with like a pea-size amount, put it all over your hands. You want to feel it like get kind of melty. You know what I mean?
Like it disappears.
The warmth from your hands needs to go. And then I like to just really kind of put it everywhere. I think that's the biggest thing too, because some people, it's kind of like conditioner. You just go, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, right.
This
yeah,
needs
you
to
don't want a
be
big clump
like
of
at the
wax.
root.
This is Enjoy Dry Wax.
Yes, the Enjoy Dry Wax. That was a lot.
Yeah, so good.
Feel.
I love it. So it's still long,
You are.
but it's got the texture in there. The miracle worker.
She's way too nice.
It's true. We all know it.
Okay, so here we are, all finished up. Thank you guys for coming along. Thank you, Kristen.
Oh, you're so welcome.
She's
It's a pleasure
always
to see
such a
everybody.
trooper. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.